So usually I like to start with like an assessment, and the assessment that I'm making with a new patient is like to have them move in the cardinal directions. There's 6 cardinal directions: forward bending, extending or looking up, side bending, and rotating. Okay, so why don't you bend forward again, like you're going to pick something up, and again I'm looking to see how much of his back is moving, and it looks like it's pretty good movement. Then come back, and now looking up towards the ceiling. Now here, what it's happening is all the work or all the movement is happening right at your neck. So in other words, nothing's happening below it. So this whole part of your back is not participating. What we're looking for is like an equal distribution of work in your spine. By you doing what you're doing, by moving like this, it's actually putting a lot of strain or work into your neck vertebra, which is why the neck probably hurts you. In other words, the rest of yourself isn't participating. So come back to neutral. Now turn towards me. So again, it's the same thing. Just your neck is turning, but ideally your whole self should be involved in the movement. Like if you were a young baby, that's kind of what you would do. Or an animal, that's what you would do. So now turn the other way. Turn to your left. Okay, so now your upper back is at least starting to participate, but still below, like the middle point of your back isn't participating. So again, think of come back to neutral. So think of it like the whole body is supposed to be equally doing its fair share of work, right? So now bend sideways. So sideways is just like, no, John. Sideways is just like bending over to one side, yeah. Come back, and then bend over this way. Okay, come back. Okay, good. So now, John, you tell me you pretty much consistently have had in the past neck pain or neck sort of shoulder issues, right? Neck, where that bothers you. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and that's something that is chronic. It's been there for a while. We want to improve that. So we're going to try to do that today. So John. So you're always like neutral's neutral, and now slide your arm backwards. So don't tighten here. Don't stiffen here, John.
I'll try to move forward.
You just keep it. No, you're not moving yet forward. You're just sliding this back. So this is just this. Everything else is relaxed, but as you see, your whole rib cage is coming back, your shoulder blades coming back, your spine is turning, and your pelvis is starting to come back. Okay. So now come back to neutral. Go forward. So it's the same thing here now. As you lengthen your arm, again, think how far down the movement's happening, down your back, down your spine. Okay, good. So come back. Now come back to neutral. The neutral is the hands on top. So now let your left hip come back towards me. So that's pretty easy, right? Mm-hmm. That's pretty easy. We'll do that a few times. Since that was so easy, we'll just encourage that to come back a little. Now as you bring the hip back, let this part of your rib cage also come back. So yeah, the arms can move a little. So you see here, my hand is, just follow underneath my hands in order to move. Okay, so this part is not doing any work. This is not, I feel like you're doing something here. So come back, you're just rolling, like you're a log, remember? Mm-hmm. So this is moving back and this is moving back and your face is starting to turn a bit, but it's just like a passive movement for your head to follow along, right? It's not like you have to tense up anything. Now let's go the other way. Move the pelvis, this hip forward, right here. When I'm tapping, it's going forward. And now the ribs here also have to go a little bit forward. So come back. So again, the pelvis is moving, the pelvis hip is going forward. Okay, so I'm going to help you by helping your lower back come along. So can you feel my 2 hands? Mm-hmm. Here's my hand on your pelvis, that's going forward. That's going forward. And then this is also going forward. You feel my hand on your back, it's going forward. Now bring your left knee forward in front of the right knee. Just rest it on the table. Yeah. So now it's already kind of forward. So again, let the pelvis slide forward. Like your knee is like sliding almost towards that bench, that little stool. So the knee is sliding out. No, not the foot, not the leg, your knee. So this is going like this. You see, so you don't get there by efforting, but by directing your attention to where I'm asking you to direct your attention, right? To bring your awareness of a place that you weren't aware of previously into awareness. So now you see how I have my hand on your knee, but I also have my hand on your back. See how they're both connected?
Mm-hmm.
They're moving together, right? And your belly's coming out a bit, let your belly spill out. So it's not contracted. There you go. Because remember we talked about this earlier before. If you tighten your belly, it actually reduces the pelvic motion, right? You can't move.
Right.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Here, just to show you the difference. Tighten your belly and try doing the same thing, moving forward with a contracted belly. You see how you can't go very far, right? So, do you feel it? Do you really feel it?
I do.
So the next time you go forward, really let your belly spill out. Let your belly spill out. Really, there you go. That's it. So your whole back is arching. It's getting concave. There you go. Okay, now bring your leg back on top. Bend your knees more, and lengthen your arm towards the front. So, but let this also move the pelvis. So you're going to link the two together. The pelvis, the hip, and the shoulder are going to go together. So come back. So as you bring your hip forward, let your arm lengthen. Rather than trying to stretch out your arm, think of this. Think of that. You're linking the hip and the shoulder together. You're still doing too much arm, John. So think more. Let the pelvis initiate it more. Let this bottom come forward. Remember with the belly spilling out. Remember the belly's going to spill out, right? Good. So now let's do this. As you lengthen the arm, take the pelvis back. So the whole spine is twisting like a rag. Yeah, good. And then go the other way. Let the pelvis go forward and shorten the arms. So this is all coming back. The arm's coming back, but these ribs here are rotating, turning towards the ceiling. So reduce no tension in your shoulders. Let go here. Just think of like this is like an accordion. You know how like when you open up an accordion?
Yeah.
You know, think of your ribs like an accordion. It's opening here, and the pelvis is going forward. Maybe bring your knee forward on the table. There, so you see now the hip is forward. And again, think of sliding the knee forward, just like we did before. As you take, there. You see you got a twist now, a good twist going throughout your whole back. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Do that again, just like let the knee slide forward. That's it, that's it. That's it. You see how this is all opening in here, twisting. Okay, good. So lie on your back for a second. So now just feel the effects of what you just did. Before we worked on the other side, that side felt different. Now we've kind of worked on both. So what do you notice in yourself?
Both sides feel relaxed now.
Okay, so now let's come back. Let's to the reference movements we did at the beginning. So roll to your side and sit up, just like you were initially, right? So sit all the way up on this. Right, that's where you were initially, right? So first, before we even do the movements we did, just notice how you're sitting. Like, what's different about? What do you notice about how you're sitting right now? What's different about how you're sitting?
I would say I just feel like more. I don't feel as much tension on my neck.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can see more of your neck. It's longer, and can you feel your sitting bones more? It's like sitting on the, like you're kind of more plopped down, more anchored to the table. Okay. So have your feet like flat on the floor, maybe like that. Okay. Now let's do what we did before. So reach down like you want to pick up something like a ring, your wedding ring, and just notice if that's easy. See how like your whole back now is rounding more all the way down to your pelvis, to your sacrum. I mean, it was not too bad in the beginning, but it's even more distributed. It's more spread out, the work. Okay, now come back. Did you feel like that might have been a little easier to bend? Now think of again your pelvis. Remember what we did before? That's right. So the belly comes out like you're pregnant woman, right? It distends, and the chest, you see, also goes forward and up. So instead of, again, throwing your head back so much, think of letting this come forward like you did before, the pelvis, and the chest is going to elevate. Think of like if you had to, look at me for a second, like your chest is going like this, like forward and up. That's it. And so your neck is just going to follow. Here, let me have your head for a second. So again, roll your pelvis forward, but instead of throwing your head back, Just let it go up your back, the movement, and think of this whole thing like, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Come back, and then do it again. In fact, leave your head alone like this. There you go. Okay, good. So that feels different. Your belly, is your belly sucked in?
No.
Okay, because it really, I think it could even be more distended, to be honest with you. Look at me for a second, John. If I go like this, and I look up, you see, I'm actually letting my whole belly get like a protuberant, like a pregnant woman, like really protuberant. So I want you to think of that. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now come back. Now you see how nice and now you see how you're nice and neutral. Look at your neck here. You see how soft it is, by the way. Now turn towards me. Turn your whole self. That's right. That's right. See, it's not even just your shoulders and chest, but this hip is actually coming forward slightly. Feel how that hip's coming forward? Right. So all of you is moving. Right. Now let's come back to the middle. Now turn the other way. And this hip now is coming forward. Do you see that? So is that an easier turn? I mean, does it?
It's easier on my neck.
Easier on your neck. That's what I mean. Right.
Right.
So, and now you're sitting posture. You see, again, like your neck is nice and soft. I can squeeze it. I mean, if there was tension here, you'd be in pain if I was doing this. But because it's like soft and neutral, I can do this. Right.
Right.
And now just bend a little towards me. See, it's there. You go. You see how the ribs bend, and you shift your weight over a little bit to the left. You see, if I shift you over, it's easier to bend, right?
Right.
And then it's the same thing here. If you bend this way, there you come onto the See how your whole body is kind of moving as an integrated system. Now stand up, come and stand, and just look straight ahead. And again, just instead of leaving your head thrown back, just leave it like kind of in this position. You're pretty tall, and just like feel what it feels like right now. What would you say is different about how you're standing now? What's different about your posture right now?
I think the biggest thing I notice right now is just the tension on my neck feels better, and then my lower back feels better.
Right, and it looks like, again, things are well distributed. You seem more comfortably erect. You seem more erect and more comfortably erect without having to hold yourself upright. Right.
Right.
Would you just say that's true?
Yeah.
You're just kind of like upright in a very comfortable way without having to do anything.
Yeah, actually, really, I really do.
Right, that's true. Right, I'm not just saying it. Yeah, I know how it feels. So, is there anything else you want to, say? Like, I mean, you'll feel different things, but again, as we talked about during the lesson, this is a process of awareness.
Right.
That the change happens by becoming aware of different parts that you are habitually not using and contracting, and just through awareness, bringing those places into play.
Right.
So, just one last tip: try not to do those little quirky movements, because that's just going to reinstate things.
Okay.
You're in a different. It'd be like if you went home and your wife rearranged the furniture. You'd have to get used to it. You wouldn't like start freaking out. You just have to say, okay, let me just see what's going on here.
Right.
So just the same thing. Just feel into your body. Let it settle into you. It's a new state of your nervous system, really. So just enjoy it. Okay. Okay. Great. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. My neck and my back definitely feel better. When I came in here, you were asking me the question of what are my pain points, and that was my neck, because I'm a tech guy.
So is there anything else you want to add to the tape? I don't know, or now or later, but you can say those things. I'm a tech guy. I sit hunched over, but just really use your own words to share about your experience of the work,
what I would say is, the big thing for me is, again, being a tech guy and owner of a tech company. I'm always like this on my phone, or leaning over on my laptop, or I'm in a car. So my back, and me being tall, I'm 6'2", I always have these different issues. So right now, after the practice and doing all the different Feldman moves, yep, and all those movements that we've been doing with Dr. Feldman, my neck and my lower back feel better, and it's actually pretty crazy because I work out and I go to the gym and stuff like that, and I try to stay healthy, and and I stretch, and sometimes I feel like it doesn't help, but this has definitely helped me, and I really appreciate it.
How is this different than just stretching? Since you mentioned stretching and the fact that you do stretch a lot, how is it different? What would you say?
I normally don't stretch those areas that you're stretching. Like my pelvis, I'm not normally bending it that way or twisting it this way or that way, and I'm not like, you know, coordinating two different things and what is the word, integrating them together.
That's great.
So for me right now, I stretch, and, you know, I'm trying to stretch, but you know, I'm mainly focused on one part of my body as opposed to making them work together and integrate together.
Very nice.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome, John. Enjoy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.